Learning fast feels impossible when you're stuck in a rut. You waste time consuming information without understanding it. And the key to outsmarting competition is this: recall what you've learned, teach it using the Feynman technique, and practice spaced repetition. With these principles and no procrastination, you will make progress in your study today. Start by eliminating procrastination. Don't wait for the perfect time, start now. Stay focused by cutting out distractions, whether it's social media, notification, or multitasking. Then use the three principles. Test yourself on what you've learned. Explain it in simple terms to ensure you understand. Practice spaced repetition. And I want you to do this consistently for at least 30 days. You will not only learn faster, but you outcompete most of people your age in just 30 days. Let's start with the first thing you need to know. The way to make progress in everything, not just becoming smarter, is action. Action is what truly matters when it comes to learning. This isn't just another way to study for the next 12 hours. Instead, ask yourself this question: how can I study without procrastinating? It's so difficult to focus if you keep distracting yourself with social media. And the cure to procrastination is action. No matter how much you procrastinate, if you take action afterward, you outcompete 99% of people who procrastinate. This is also why most people don't make progress in life. They don't take action and always procrastinate. They're wondering if they can change their life forever by just scrolling on social media and sitting there without doing anything. And here's the action step you need to take now. Write down the activities you want to accomplish today. Check off all of them by the end of the day. It is simple. You just need to make it happen. I know it feels hard to take the first step. You feel the pain of starting the work, but trust me, after just 5 minutes, you will enter flow state. This is when working starts to feel enjoyable. You need to train yourself to maintain this skill, and that is why you must implement the next principle. You see people on the street, at the gym, and at restaurants. They're all distracted by their phones. I believe if you can just focus on one thing at a time, you outperform 99% of people. The key to self-education and continuous learning is not just about productivity, it's about controlling your distractions. And distractions can come in many forms: social media, food, friends inviting you to parties. To avoid distractions, you need to make it impossible to enter your life. For example, let's say you want to start reading about philosophy. The best way to fully absorb the knowledge is focus while you're reading. It sounds simple, but this is the hardest part of your action. We're so distracted and we multitask everything at once. This is not healthy for your brain. You need to change the way you approach your work. Don't procrastinate and don't get distracted. Here's the action step you need to take now. Do one task at a time. This is the only way to make progress in your self-education journey. You don't need to read 3 books in a week. What matters is the quality of the work, not the quantity. And it's about the time you spend reading and the amount of understanding from it. That's all you need to do. Now let's talk about the 3 steps I found to maximize learning. We consume content on social media and we want to consume more and more content. And after an hour, we don't realize how much information we get. And oftentimes, we are forget. And this is the problem with social media. You consume many contents, you consume many informations, but you don't know what you are consuming. You need to consciously recall what you've learned, and that is the only way for your brain to retain and apply the information. For instance, you start learning about bodybuilding, you start watching these YouTube videos about bodybuilding and nutrition. You know the basic of growing muscles: 1 grams protein per pound's body weight. Train intensely and consistent and consume more calories than your BMR. But you might overlook the critical details like how sugar could be affecting your focus while you train and how dehydrations impact your performance. This kind of information is simple, but most of you are forget. So every time you watch content online or read a book, ask yourself, what is one thing I learned today? Just recall one thing. It doesn't have to be new. This will combat overconsumption and makes it more effective for your self-education. Learning is not just about consuming information, it's about understanding it and to teach other people. If you're watching a YouTube video or reading a new article, take a moment to write what you've learned. You don't need a complex note-taking system. Just explain what you've learned in simple terms. For example, if the topic is bodybuilding, you might write this. The key to building an aesthetic physique is to build muscle and maintain low body fat. You don't need to dive into advanced concepts like time under tension or workout volume. Keep it simple and concise. When you can teach someone else in basic terms, it shows you truly understand the knowledge. I'm not someone who takes notes on everything. I practice by doing. Spaced repetition involves applying, revisiting what you've learned over time. So for instance, if you're reading Atomic Habits by James Clear, you might know the idea of improving 1% every day, and that can lead to 37% of improvement in a year. This principle is so powerful, and you need to remind this every single time. Progress doesn't require a massive sudden efforts. It's about steady incremental gains. After finishing a book, spend the next 3 months applying the principles you've learned. Then revisit the book and focus on the principle you want to develop. This helps reinforce your understanding and prevents you from forgetting valuable insights. You don't need to read 56 books in a year. Reading one great book and applying it for the next 12 months is far more effective than reading one book a week. To excel in self-education and outcompete most people, you need to develop this one thing: focus. No matter how hard you try to learn, it's the ability to focus over the next 12 months, 36 months is what truly matters. So take action now, don't procrastinate, don't get distracted, and let's recap everything we've covered. Don't procrastinate, don't get distracted, recall what you've learned, the Feynman technique, and spaced repetition. If you're struggling with focus and you want to make progress in your fitness, business, and relationships, click the first link in the description below. Let's discuss how you can transform your focus and change your life forever this year. And don't forget to get my free course and my free ebook, link in the description below. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.